In the name of Allah, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah. May Allah be and the blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad, his family, his companions, and upon all previous prophets, Moses and Jesus and Abraham. We are Muslims, we make no difference among all of them. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. A great sign of accepting the worship and the act of worship is to make more and more good deeds. But if we still insist on doing bad deeds, that means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't accept it. As we just mentioned, the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described for those who turn on their previous states. He just entered the mosque and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then once he gets out of the mosque, he doesn't treat people in a good way. He doesn't help each other. That indicates that his worshiping and his prayer doesn't accept. Allah doesn't accept it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described these people who are insisting in doing good deeds, those who are insisting on doing bad deeds, even after they making or worshipping or making acts of worship or worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but still on their insist on doing bad deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described them in the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ. Those people are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the very edge. فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ. If something good happened to him, he accepts it. وَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ, if there is something bad happened to him, he will reject it. So خَسِرَ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described him as a good loser. Along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always, or the 5 pillars of Islam, develops a sense of brotherhood or equality with prayer. Still, the 3rd pillar of Islam, which is zakah, or we say obligatory charity, we still one of the most important pillar of Islam, which help us how to avoid being selfishness, to avoid selfishness or to avoid to be selfish, which make a very good balance in the Muslim community, which is asking the rich among the Muslims people to give a certain amount of their wealth and their money to the poor people, which gives them inspiration to help each other, the sense of solidarity, the sense of avoiding selfishness, the sense of living in a community like brothers, like together you love each other, the sense of sharing, like each one share what he have together. As we believe in Islam that this wealth or this money is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still give us, this is specific, still give us this wealth or this money and ask us to help your brother, to give him a specific amount of this wealth or this money to your brother. Zakah, in Arabic, which means ziyada, means growth. So the literal meaning of zakah, though some people may believe that you take some money out of me to give it to the poor people, that is going to decrease the amount of my money. But on the contrary of that, zakah, it doesn't decrease your amount of wealth, it increases that. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, saying that خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُمْ وَتُذَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ إن صلاتك سكن لهم.
خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها وصل عليهم إن صلاتك سكن لهم والله سميع عليم.
Take from their wealth a charity by which you purify them and cause them increase, and invoke upon them. Indeed, your invocations are reassurance for them, and Allah is hearing and knowing.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the Prophet Muhammad a direct order to take a specific amount of the wealth, as we're going to later, or going to discuss it later, what this amount of the wealth and why and when. We're going to later, inshallah, discuss about this third pillar of Islam, which is zakah, and the benefit of that. But generally, zakah doesn't decrease it, it increases it. As the Prophet Muhammad, or as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we just said that, asked the Prophet Muhammad to take some of the charity out of the wealth of rich people to the poor people, so that it purifies his wealth, it increases it. That's what the Quran says, and we believe in everything in the Islam and in the Quran, that there is a wisdom behind that. So خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها. This is the main objective, and this is the main purpose behind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the Prophet Muhammad to teach his followers that for his rich people, or for the rich follower of the Muslims of community, must help the poor people by giving and sharing some of his money with the poor people. Why? The Quran says it will purify his wealth, it will increase his wealth. And what is clear, that this is going to give us a great sense of solidarity, of sharing, of avoiding selfishness, of being a brotherhood, of loving each other, which is all of these mutual values that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed upon his creatures, or upon his human being, whether in Quran or Bible, whether through Christianity or Islam. All the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have a mutual values, which is loving each other, helping each other, being, or the sense of solidarity, avoiding selfishness and being selfish is a mutual value of Allah's revelation. The purpose for the fourth pillar of Islam, which is a siyam, fasting. We've just mentioned and talked about fasting and what does it mean of fasting, but scientifically or generally, fasting is that we are abstained from eating and drinking through the holy month of Ramadan. And the main purpose of it has been mentioned in the Quran, that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may feel, or you may be pious, or so that you may fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the second verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still talk about fasting. He says that so that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that you feel grateful to Allah's blessings. So these two purposes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described behind the fasting during the month of Ramadan, that to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the second thing is to be grateful to Allah's blessings. Scientifically, it has been proved that fasting is health. It's beneficial, and it benefits our health. It's a very useful thing for our health. But even so, away from being healthful scientifically, fasting gives us the sense of solidarity, to feel solidarity with the millions of people who are fasting day and night around the world without a choice, to feel the hunger and the starving people who could not even feed themselves around the world, and they do not eat and drink, not only during a month, but during the whole year, for each year, for those who could not help themselves. And this develops the sense of being helpful. This develops the sense of sharing. This develops the sense of solidarity. This develops the sense of unity, or the Muslims community, or the Ummah unity, or to unite the Ummah, that we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the same time, we fast to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the dawn together, and we break our fast at the same time at the sunset. Doing the same acts, we recite the Holy Quran, we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that month, because we believe this is the month of the Quran. Though we still order to recite the Holy Quran and to mediate in the Quran throughout the whole year, but because this is the month of the Quran, Shahrun, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran upon the Prophet Muhammad on the night of decree, on the Laylatul Qadr, which is a blessed night. That's why it is being recommended and highly recommended for the Ummah to come and mediate in the Holy Quran. And along, or as more as we are mediating in the Holy Quran, we find a lot of scientific researches, we find a lot of things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised us, that سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق.
سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق أولم يكف بربك أنه على كل شيء شهيد.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. But is it not sufficient concerning your Lord that He is over all things a witness?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us that as long as you are mediating in the Quran, and as long as you reflect on the universe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will show you miracles. Allah will show you scientific miracles, scientific things, till you believe that what is in the Quran is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as what is from the Bible that has been revealed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All revelation that sent down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to His prophets, we believe in all of them. Again and again, if you mediate the Holy Quran, and if you're looking at the pillars of Islam and the pillars of the faith, the foundation of Islam and the foundation of faith, you're going to find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would like to enrich specific senses of Islam, which is the sense of equality, the sense of brotherhood, the sense of unity, the sense of solidarity, the sense of sharing, which is the real true image of Islam based on them. I would just mention that for each and every pillar of Islam, there is a purpose behind that. Those scientific researches prove that these pillars of Islam has a huge benefit to our health and to our body, but still there is a spiritual sense that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would like to develop it in His community, in His Muslims ummah, to love each other, to live together in peace, to help each other, to feel solidarity, to feel the poor people, to feel the starving and hungry people, to help each other, to live together in peace. And for more information about the pilgrimage, because for these next days and these next times, as we are celebrating a specific occasion, which is Al-Hajj, which is the specific days or the specific months for Al-Hajj, We will talk later or in these next episodes about the fifth pillar of Al-Hajj in more details about the rights of Al-Hajj, about Al-Ihram, about the clothes of Al-Hajj, about the main purpose behind the Hajj, about the tawaf and circumambulation around Al-Kaaba, about going between As-Safa wal Marwa. And for more information, follow us for next episodes of your program Revelation 9 International. Till these next episodes, peace and salamullahi alaykum wa rahmatuhu wa barakatuh.